So the following is an overview of how the oil and gas interlead data sits inside of Salesforce. It can help you when you're making calls out to different drilling rigs in the field. So this is the standard interface that we're looking at, and we've got a custom object called drilling rigs. And then we go to the drilling rigs at any given time. When you look at the rigs, you can come down and you can take a look at ones that you've looked at recently or gone out to recently. We can look at all the rigs that we want. We can have different list views associated with it, or we can search a drilling rig. The other thing that we can do when it comes to drilling rig that can become very effective for you is we can go to the accounts object. So those are the oil and gas operators. We can choose a different account that we have. So I'm going to look at Encana, Oil and Gas USA. And then when I'm in that particular record, what I have is a section, and the section is called Related. And when I select Related, that brings up all the things that we can relate to Encana, and things that I'm interested in are the drilling rigs and the job quote sheets, potential quotes that we're going to do for the customer, contacts, so on and so forth. When I select the drilling rigs, I now see, the drilling rigs that are working for Encana, and I can see the last day, the activity date is updated. Currently, we're updating that information weekly, and so it is relatively up to date. When I can select the record, it takes me to the drilling rig object, and then I have a series of actions they call quick action items that I can do. If I want to go out and I want to log a call with that particular rig, so I know the person, or I'm going to say, hey, I've gone on site, I can select the log my call option. And then what it does is it has a subject line associated with it. And I'm going to update that subject line. And, one of the things I like to use when my mobile device is the voice to text option. Monday, February 17th, rig visit. And then I can see there in a sec, there is my subject line that I'm going to put in there. The other thing that I can do is I can say, how did the call go? Again, I'm going to use the voice to text option. Met with John and things went well on the call. He wants me to provide him, Met with John, things went well on the call, and he would like me to follow up in a week with a quote. And then I'll go ahead and let it populate there so you can see how it works. Because I'm doing the demo, we've got a couple of things that I might want to clean up, and it's very easy to do the cleanup on that side of it. I'm just going to come in here and take out the option on my rig call. Let me just go back here. I'll do that later. So ultimately, that is how easy it is for us to log a rig visit out to the customer. And when we've gone out and visited with a drilling rig. The other things that we can do that are quick action items for us is our ability to go in and, use an object to collect information related to a quote. So the customer said, yes, I want a quote. Maybe I have to send some information into my drilling or to my drilling engineers. I'm going to select the new job quote option, and then I'm going to put that, and then I just go through the process of filling it out. Provide XYZ product. And then we go in and we select the drilling rig that we're visiting, the 526. We put in the account name, Encana. And then, so we start to populate the fields associated with it. And then we can come in here and where are we? We are in a bid pending stage. So we're sending information in to be updated by the engineering team. And then when is it due? We'll say that it's due on the 21st. So now I can come down here and take a look at it, and I can collect other information associated with it. Is there casing? Yes. Torque control? Yes. So all the different options that we have associated with it. I can go ahead and hit save. Now I'm in a position I can send this record, the details of this particular record, to the individual or to the person that I'm working with. And then when we go in and we want to look at the details, we can see here that we have associated with it is a job quote, and there's the job quote that we're working on that side of it. Other things we can do, we're in the related items of the rig. Other things that we can do is we can start to accumulate the contacts that are out there, and then I can select my contacts. I can say new, and then I can look for an existing contact that's associated to the rig. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick my test user, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now what we're starting to do, populate against this rig, is all the quotes that we provided it. We've got the history associated with that. We also have all of our contacts associated with that as well. One thing that we can do here again is I might want to assign myself a follow-up, and then we'll come into the subject, follow-up on quote. Provided a quote to the customer, need to follow up on the status. And then we can update it once we get it, the information in there. We can see that it's already related to the rig. Now I want to relate it to, I could relate it to the quote itself if I wanted to. I can change the contact field, or sorry, I guess that's the only thing in contacts. I'll say that it's contacts that we want, and then I'm going to associate it to that particular individual. So I know that I have to follow up on that side of it. And assign to, and we go ahead and we save it. So now what we've done is set up essentially, again, just a quick overview. When we look at it, lots of different ways. I could just come in here and I could search for a rig, H and P, and then go ahead and search, see all my different H&P rigs that I have. So there's 613, there are well licenses, drilling rigs, here we go. So I'm going to come in here and look at my drilling rigs, and then there is 615, 603, I can see who they're working with, so on and so forth. And then I can select that rig. And then once I've selected the rig, I can look at the details here. BP, working with BP. I can have the rig phone and the rig fax. If I want to, I can edit this and then come in and say edit. And then that allow me to put in the rig phone and rig fax information on that side of it. The other thing that I can do at that particular point, as I showed earlier, I can log my call with individuals. So just as easy as saying in the system tree, log my call. I can also capture information related to a new quote and then start to fill out that form to send in appropriately. And then I can also, here's all my selections. I can add a new contact. I can update the record itself. So extremely powerful for us to, when we're in the field, to be very rig focused and then be able to focus on the rigs that are working with the different operators. That data is up to date, so the sales rep doesn't have to put it in. And then we're capturing our activity associated with those particular rigs and hopefully the sales opportunities related to the rigs as well.